We're going back in time to medieval Japan around 16th and 17th century. The country was split, and they were in constant war with each other. The transition from Sengoku period to Edo period is marked with the unification of the island, which is what we know today as Japan. During that period, social hierarchy was very defined with almost no social mobility. On the top you can see the emperor, after that the shogun, daimyo, samurai, and at the bottom the commoners. But where are the ninjas? Well, they're nowhere and everywhere at the same time. What do I mean by that? A ninja could be someone disguised as a samurai or a commoner. They're not going to say, "Hi, I'm a ninja." After all, ninjas are very secretive. Even to this day, we can't confirm all the events they have contributed to. But then, did they even exist? Yes, they had to sign a contract. But the contract says they can't disclose any of their doings. Iga and Koga. You can trace the origins of ninjutsu to these two places. The landscape is similar to the wallpaper I use. Winters are very cold. The mountainous landscape is tough, perfect for training. Sometimes a thick fog downs on the forest and it limits visibility. There are many tales about ninjas, but the one you must know is the story of Hattori Hanzo, who's also known as the Devil Hanzo, commander and well-known talented ninja from Iga. Let's go back to the time when Oda Nobunaga took power in Kyoto and unified great portion of what we know as Japan. During that time, Tokugawa Ieyasu wanted to ally with Nobunaga, but could only do it secretly, because one of his enemies held family members as hostages. That's when he hired Hattori Hanzo to save them, and he succeeded recovering the hostages. On another occasion, Hattori Hanzo escorted Tokugawa safely through Iga territory. This would be the beginning of a long-lasting friendship. Nobunaga was hated by many. He kept using oppression to have control over the unified land. Iga was among those who opposed. That's why Nobunaga sent his son and samurais to Iga, but they lost to the ninjas led by the Devil Hanzo. Did they know they were messing with real ninjas? The unprepared son of Nobunaga was the only survivor. Nobunaga would later send a huge force of samurais and destroy Iga. This forced ninjas to scatter across all Japan. Many suffered the tragedies of oppression, but the one who succeeded in killing Nobunaga would be Akechi Mitsuhide, a general who betrayed him. After that, Toyotomi Hideyoshi, faithful to his lord, took revenge and killed Mitsuhide. Hideyoshi became the new ruler and continued conquering lands all the way up to the north. Now the whole island is unified. Toyotomi died because of age and illness, but before he died, he chose 5 generals to rule after him, and before his son came of age. Tokugawa Ieyasu was among those 5 generals. He allied with the ones who didn't want Toyotomi's son as the next ruler. Tokugawa found his chance. He fought against Toyotomi's supporters and won. Japan would be a unified and closed country under the rule of Tokugawa for over more than 200 years. They are very important because they unified Japan, and Hattori Hanzo contributed by helping and protecting the third one. Many confuse ninjas and samurais, so let's battle this out. Both are hired. The ninjas have undercover missions, while samurais are out in broad daylight protecting their master. Both were necessary and had important roles during war, so each of them gets a point. Ninjas had to be invisible and used sneaky tactics to accomplish their missions. On the other hand, samurai's way of doing things are dictated by the Bushido, doing things with sincerity, loyalty, martial arts mastery, and honor until death. Both were influenced by the traditional religion in Japan, Shinto. Shinto teaches to be in harmony with nature, as everything in nature is possessed by spirits. So you can't think of ninjas as vulgar thieves. Many of them were well trained and educated. But still, they're sneaky, so the point goes to the samurai. Ninjas could be men or women, while samurais could only be men. The gender roles were very defined at that time. This means that ninjas could catch their enemy off guard by having a woman disguised to gather information or doing any other kind of mission. That's why the point goes to the ninjas for inclusion and tactics. Samurais were trained in martial arts, morals, and mind training. On the other hand, ninjas were trained in ninjutsu, which includes what samurais learn and more. Ninjas avoided direct fights, but sometimes they encountered enemies, and when they did, they usually managed to escape, using unconventional tactics. That's why the point goes to the ninjas. They were so unpredictable that the samurai wouldn't know their next move nor how to attack. Ninjas had to be light as possible for movement. They avoided fights, so they didn't need much protection. Samurais needed protection for battles, so they wore heavy armor from head to toe and other accessories to look intimidating. We can't really compare them, so let's give a point to each as they served their own purposes. In terms of power and legacy, the point goes to the samurai, as they kept order in the country. Now, this one will be hard to choose, so it's up to you. Before that, let me explain why I think both are awesome. Samurais made use of conventional weapons, including katana, short knife, bow and arrows, shuriken, and spears. Ninjas used weapons that were convenient to carry around and could serve many purposes. For example, short sword, kunai, the sickle and the chain, and other weapons adapted from daily life use. Did you know that the kunai and the sickle were original farmers' tool? They also carried around other things like smoke bomb, food pills, poison, traps, or other things depending on their mission. They had to be creative and be able to improvise depending on the situation. Which one would you vote for? Let me know in the comments. The abilities of ninjas were a great mystery. They used that to their favor by sparking rumors of supernatural abilities. This contributed to the fantasy of ninjas in popular culture. The most famous is Naruto. Basilisk portrays the rivalry between the Iga and Koga. Samurai Champloo is interesting in the way it has hip-hop in its settings. And the classic Samurai X. If you want to know more about samurai, I recommend Ryoma-den. The main character, Sakamoto Ryoma, is a loved hero in Japan. This story is set by the end of Tokugawa Bakufu and the transition to Meiji era. I hope you learned more about Japanese history. Thanks for watching.